So now I'm with Marc Affüpper, who's the COO of TSR Recycling. Good morning, Marc, and welcome back.
Good morning, Jill.
Would you like to start by reminding us of TSR's activities?
Yes, of course. TSR Recycling is one of the biggest steel and metal recycler in the world, I'd say, and is the subsidiary or the daughter company of Remondis, where we consolidate all the activities around steel and metal recycling, but even the E-scrap recycling, the WEEE recycling, all these things, and this is why we're here today. So that's the metal-orientated activity of the Remondis group, so to say.
Do you have a particular focus for 2023?
Yes, we basically prepared ourselves for 23 in order to close the loops, to get much closer together with the raw material producers, since we see ourselves still in that phase coming from the pure trading company to a process-orientated company, and now we want to become a real partner of the raw material producers, the metal industry, perhaps even the plastic industry to a certain extent, because that's something we need to care about as well, but mainly, of course, focused on steel and aluminium recycling and even copper.
And is this focus market-driven? Do you see this sort of requirements from your customers?
Right, exactly. So it's market-driven, and we see a much higher interest in communication with us from the metal producer side, but even from the side of the OEMs, from the automotive industry, but even from the electronic goods industry, because even they are desperate to close loops and to find partners who can do so, who are really having a European or global footprint and who are able even to generate volumes to have a meaningful contribution to closing loops with significant volumes, which is always a little bit a problem.
And how do you see the market developing in general? Is it becoming more diversified with more diversified streams?
Yes, I mean, quality is a new challenge. In the past, the scrap and metal recyclers had a certain quality already, yes, but we realized that this demand for qualities has increased, because the more recycling content you put into the products, the better the quality has to be, and this is a challenge we all have, not only TSR but even our competitors and partners, really to generate qualities which we were not used to in the past. So that's really a new challenge we have, where we need better technology, more technology. We have to increase our efforts to upgrade the qualities, but this is really what we will focus on in 23 and even 24 probably, really to be able to increase the recycling content in copper, aluminium, steel and even other metals, where recycling is right now just a minor content.
So you would see this as a differentiating factor to bring clients to TSR, in fact?
Right, exactly. And this is where we see that the size of TSR is an advantage. In the past, that was quite often a disadvantage, because we were, well, a bit less flexible than others. But now we realize that even size makes a difference and makes us a bit more competitive in some areas, not in all of them. But this is where we are quite optimistic that we will be one of the players really being part of this new circular economy.
And is there a particular profile of companies you're wishing to meet this year here at IERC?
Well, of course, we're always interested to get a bit closer to the OEMs, because this is kind of customers where we don't have too much day-to-day relation to, and that's something where we need some improvement. And this is why we're really present on fairs like this and conventions like this, because that's the dialogue which historically was not so intensive. But that's something where we need to improve, and not only we, but all our partners and competitors here on the convention as well. So that's for sure one of the targets, to get this dialogue a bit more intensified.
And how positive are you for the future of this industry?
Well, for the industry in general, I'm very positive, because we have never been so en vogue as this year and the last year. We of course are always a bit depending on the economical developments, so that's of course a challenge, especially now where we got lots of question marks in these economical developments. But basically, I think the recycling and the circular economy is really a very positive industry with lots of perspectives. And again, even there, I think the bigger companies who are established to a certain extent have got a bit better chance now, and that wasn't always the case. And this is why I'm quite optimistic, not only for TSR, but even for the entire business sector, that we will have a prosperous future ahead of us. But of course, there are some challenges still ahead of us as well, so that's something we need to solve in the next few years.
Well, I wish you a very successful conference. Thank you, Marc.
Thank you, Jill. Thanks.